Tulane Law Professor Ann Lipton. Professor, buyer's remorse just never works, does it? Is this a simple case of that? I mean, even I looked over a list of things that have happened in the past, and companies that really didn't want to go through with mergers usually are they're on the losing end of things like this. It's Elon Musk, not a company, but how do you expect it to play out?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit hard to be sure what Musk might have up his sleeve, but based on what we've seen so far, and I'm including that letter he filed that said he was terminating the deal because he claimed that Twitter was in breach, it does not look like his claims are very strong. I mean, this has, as you say, this has happened before. Buyers have agreed to buy companies, things change, the markets change, and they want to back out. And when those cases have actually been litigated, very often those buyers have been forced to close, even over their own objections.
Is there any material cause that could be proven and how would that happen with the whole bots, fake account issue? What would have to happen for that to factor in a big enough way for Elon Musk to prevail?
Well, he's got two arguments on that score. One of the arguments, the argument that he was sort of making publicly before the lawyers started filing formal documents about it, was essentially that Twitter's information was false, that the merger agreement said that the SEC filings were true, and the SEC filings, where they talk about their spam, misrepresented the number of spam, the amount of spam on the platform. That was what he claimed. Now, under Delaware law, and the words of the contract, the only way that he could escape the merger on that grounds was first he'd have to show that the representation was false. And that would be difficult because the representation was actually, we think it's 5%, but we might be wrong, and that might be the wrong number. So we'd have to show that that was false. And then he'd have to further show that it was so false that it was actually going to have a very long-term, significant impact on Twitter's earnings going forward. And he hasn't shown what his evidence is for thinking it's false, and he certainly hasn't shown any evidence that that's so false that it would have that kind of financial impact. But that would be one path. And now he's got an alternative path, which came in more later once his lawyers started sending formal letters, which is not so much that it's about whether the numbers are true or false. It's about the fact that Twitter promised, as part of the process for closing the deal, that it would supply him with sufficient information to be able to actually close, and that Twitter is stonewalling his requests for information about the bots, and therefore it's violating its promise that it would give him sufficient information, and then so therefore he can walk away. Now, I mean,
not a compelling argument, Ann?
It's not a particularly compelling argument because this isn't information you need to close. Doesn't mean like information like that can show your representations are false. He's kind of openly said, we want this information to test the truthfulness of your representations, but that's not information you need to close the deal. That's information to get out of the deal. So, which is exactly what Twitter argues in its complaint. So it's just not a very compelling basis to say they are denying the information they promised to give.
Do you expect this for both parties to go to the mattresses, which is an old Godfather expression, where will it go all the way to the end and just be bloodied and I mean hardball, or do you expect something short of that? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, if this were a normal deal, I mean, this is the thing, it's not a normal deal. If this were a normal deal, the way we've seen other deals of this kind, we'd expect a settlement. I mean, we would expect that this is about, the deal doesn't make a whole lot of economic sense anymore, but if you knock a couple dollars off the price, then it does make economic sense and the parties would find some kind of resolution. It is not obvious. I mean, that could still happen, but it's not obvious they're anywhere near those places for two reasons. The first is Musk's claims seem very weak. So unless he has some additional information that we haven't seen yet, Twitter has no reason to settle and has an obligation to its own stockholders to get the best possible price that it can. The other reason is because I'm not sure that Musk's motivations are rational economic interest motivations here. I mean, at least the impression we have is that he sort of decided to buy the company on a lark because he thought it would be sort of fun. He said it wasn't for economic reasons. And now he just kind of changed his mind about it. And if that's right, then knocking a couple dollars off the price isn't what he wants.